Hello students, myself Binita Shaha. So as I have written that the topic is quadratic equation. So it is a topic which is newly being introduced in your syllabus of class 10. So but it is more or less a similar term we can say, because we have already some idea about what is equation, what is linear equation in one variable, two variable in our previous standard, that is class 9, or in general mathematics also. So it will become a little bit easy for us to understand. So now let me begin this topic. So quadratic equation. What is a equation? Equation means it will have two sides. One is the right hand side, one is the left hand side. When we equate something, that is known as a equation. So a quadratic equation will have only one variable. It's fixed, not two variables. It will have only one variable. We can take it as x, y, z, anything. So the variable is only one. Variable means it can take any value. But the main condition for becoming a quadratic equation or identifying a quadratic equation is that the highest degree of the variable must be 2. That means if in any question or any equation it is given that x cube plus 3 is equals to 0, then it is not at all a quadratic equation because the highest degree is 3. No. To identify a quadratic equation, we always have to remember two basic conditions. The first one is that the highest degree of the variable must be 2, and the second condition is that the coefficient of x square, that is a, is not equals to 0. Because why? Because if it is equals to 0, then it will become bx plus c equals to 0. So this no longer a quadratic equation, it became a linear equation. So a can never be 0. To be a quadratic equation, these two conditions have to be followed. Otherwise, that equation can never be a quadratic equation. And this is the standard form of a quadratic equation which I have written. That is x square, this one, ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0. A is the coefficient of x square, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the constant. And a, b, c, all three terms are real numbers. B can be 0, C can be 0, but A can never be 0. And the highest degree of the variable must be 2. So fine, we have understood the condition for becoming or identifying a quadratic equation. Now let us come to the part that it is being divided into two types. One is pure quadratic equation, one is adfected quadratic equation. So now what is pure quadratic equation? Pure quadratic equation is that when b is equals to 0, that is the variable x which has degree 1 will not exist, only degree 2 will exist, then it is a pure quadratic equation. Why? Because to become a quadratic equation, the main and first and foremost condition is that the degree must be 2. And when b is equals to 0, pure quadratic equation will look like ax square plus c is equals to 0. And example I have written here, x square minus 64 equals to 0. There is no coefficient of x or the term variable x which has degree 1. So it is a pure quadratic equation. The second is the adfected quadratic equation. Adfected means b will not equal to 0. That is, the standard form of the equation itself is known as the adfected quadratic equation. And the example I have written is that 5x square cx plus 10 equals to 0. Here a is equals to 5, b is 6 and C is 10. And in this example, A is 1 and there is no B. C is minus 64. So find this. With this, we have understood how to identify a quadratic equation. We have understood the two parts or two types of quadratic equation. Let's come to the next part. So now, as we have seen that the highest degree of the variable of a quadratic equation is 2, that means that variable will have two values, and these two values are known as roots of the equation. So now, from the standard form, I will write the standard. This is the standard form of a quadratic equation, and from this I can say that this is the, from this we will get two roots of the quadratic equation. One will be minus b plus root over of b square minus 4ac by twice a, and the other is minus b minus root over of b square minus 4ac by twice a. So these are the two roots of the quadratic equation. Why two roots? Maximum number of roots of quadratic equation is 2. Why? Because the highest degree is 2. That's the reason. So now this is the standard form of the roots of the equation. From any example like 6x square plus 4x plus 10 equals to 0, from here we can find the roots of the equation by putting the value of a, b and c directly in both this standard form of the roots of the equation. Clear? The next part will be that the main nature. Now we will come the nature of the roots of the equation. Nature means how the roots of the equation be defined, whether they will be real, unequal, rational, not rational, imaginary, whatever it is. It is determined, or it depends upon purely to this term, b square minus 4ac. What I have written the standard, I have already mentioned that the standard form is this, but this is the main part which is also known as the discriminant. Discriminant means with this only we will define the nature of the roots. That means if it is greater equals to 0, then the nature of the root will be real. That is, the value of x will be real. And if it is less than 0, then the value of x will be imaginary. So now, from this we can say that this is the depending factor for the nature of the roots. So if we consider any term, whatever I have told right now, from this we can determine the roots of the equation from a given quadratic equation by putting the values of a, b and c, that is the coefficient of x, x square, coefficient of x and constant, directly to the standard form of the roots of the equation. But if in any question the roots are given and we have to form the quadratic equation, then how we will do it? The process is that let us consider alpha, one of the root, the first one minus b plus root over of b square minus 4ac is equals to twice a, and beta is minus b square minus 4ac by twice a. So with this we will get alpha and beta. We have just considered that two roots with some name of the roots alpha and beta, and after getting this, if these are given, if in a question the value of alpha is given 2 and the value of beta is given 3, then we can form the equation as like this: alpha plus beta into x plus alpha beta is equals to 0. This is the quadratic equation. That means if alpha equal to 2 and beta equal to 3, first we will find the sum of the two roots, then we will find the product of the two roots, that is x square minus 5x plus 6 equals to 0. This will be the quadratic equation of the given roots 2 and 3. Fine. So we have understood two things till now. What are those? Let me revise this once again. What are those? The first is that what is a quadratic equation? What are the basic factors or condition to be followed to identify a quadratic equation? What is that? The highest degree of the variable should be 2 and the coefficient of x square can never be 0. Fine. Gone. The second thing we have learned is that if a given quadratic is given or mentioned in a question, then from there we can find the roots of the equation or the value of x. How? By putting directly the value of a, b and c into the standard form of the roots of the equation. Gone. The third thing is that if in any question the roots are given and we have to form the quadratic equation, then first we will find the sum of the roots, then we will find the product of the roots, then we can easily form the question or easily form the equation of the quadratic equation. So now with all this, whatever I have told you, the basic things or the basic ideas or concepts related to the quadratic equation. So with this, I would like to end my topic, and I hope I am able to make all of you understand whatever I have told, the basic things about this chapter, quadratic equation. More things are left out, so I hope that I will make all of you understand the other portion also in my next video. So for today, I would like to end now. Thank you.